that Manchester United fan, Will Mellor, who's just been telling us the radio in your car, Will, is permanently locked into talkSPORT.
Every day, especially on my long journeys when I'm driving up to Manchester to see my mum and that. It's the only channel I have on is talkSPORT, and then the only time it goes off is when my wife gets in the car. So you're just listening to people talking. What
does she put on? What does she favour?
All sorts, old school R&B and stuff like that.
She likes music.
She likes music and stuff. But I think if you're on a long journey, I like to listen to talking podcasts, but talkSPORT. Yeah, I love it.
Good man.
Yeah,
now, look, before we get into football and a few other bits and pieces you're up to, we're going to talk about data poverty, which is something that people may not know anything about. So tell us more.
It's a thing that I think people would think, well, why do people need data and how can you be in data poverty? It's basically people who are really struggling. This is like a data bank. It's like a food bank, but for data. And Media O2 and Good Things Foundation have come together, and they're putting this out there for people to get free data from O2. So you can go to an O2 store and get free data. And this is for people that are really struggling. So it takes away the pressure of having to pay for something else. And if people think, well, do you need your data? You need your data for everything now. I mean, your whole lives are online. So if you want to apply for a job, if you want to take a hospital appointment, if you want to just WhatsApp your kids or your friends or whatever it is, you can't do any of that without data. And this awareness is saying that there's 1.9 million UK households that are in data poverty. And I think anybody, especially this time of year, giving something away for free is a great thing, and looking out for, the poorest in the community. And data poverty is a real thing.
So O2, they can go into their O2 branch, and what do they need to sort of say?
Well, they're going to ask you a few questions, because obviously this has got to, just like a food bank, you've got to make sure it is going to the most needy of us, and it's just to take off that pressure. Christmas is a big pressure anyway financially on people. It's just to say, if you are struggling and you are in data poverty, you can come in and they'll give you not just 12 months of data, up to 275 hours of internet browsing a month for 12 months. And it doesn't matter who your provider is. You can go in, and if you're eligible, you will get free data. And it's one less thing to worry about. Get you back online and hopefully get you back on your feet.
Excellent. We'll pop in the Virgin Media O2 branch and have a chat with them. Hopefully they can help you out. Sounds like a good idea.
I think so.
So, since we've last spoke, we often talk Manchester United with you. And since we last spoke, Ruben Amorim has gone in. What have you made of the early days of his reign?
I love him. No, I do. No, I'm not talking about results, because obviously we're going to have dark days along the way, and it's going to take time. We all know that. But as a person, how he comes across is open, is honest. I love how he will change things if they're not working straight away. We saw it against Bodo Glimt, and we went 1-0 up, then he scored 2 quick goals, and straight away he changed the system. He took people off, brought people on. He doesn't wait till like the 75th minute to do something, which says he's brave. He's a winner. He wants to play the right way. And the one thing about United is we haven't had an identity for years. And I think he's going to bring an identity and a style of play. The players we've got at the moment, I think, obviously, we need to look at who he's going to bring in, because there's a few square pegs in round holes that he's trying to fix. But positive, and look, it's like a cloud's been lifted from the club since he came in. And
managing at that level is so much about man management, and he looks like a sort of bloke you could deal with every day, whereas like Ten Hag, I'm sure he was a good manager and everything, but there's something about him.
Bit of a robot. I never got inspired by any of his interviews. And listen, I'm a United fan. I'll support any manager that comes into the club, but it was always a struggle for me. If he doesn't inspire me in interviews, what's he doing on the training pitch with the players? And straight away, when you saw some of Ruben's training, you can see they're smiling. He's involved with them. His man management looks good, and like I said, he looks like he's lifted a cloud over from the club. But we have to be realistic. We've got Arsenal tonight, and I'd take a draw right now. It's obviously our toughest game so far, and he's come out and said, listen, there'll be dark days ahead. I know everyone's singing his name, but he's been honest. Like, it's not going to be plain sailing this to get it right.
This is one of the hardest fixtures United could have at the moment. Arsenal are banging form.
I think anybody could have. Anyone who's going to want to go to Arsenal at this time of the year and the way they're playing. But
although even under Ten Hag and even under Van Nistelrooy, I always felt with United, like when they played Chelsea recently, they raised their game all the time, the players, because they're good players.
Yeah, it's the system, playing the players in the right system. I mean, there's been some players that have emerged Ahmad, I think, what a talent he is. And under Ten Hag couldn't get a game, which is, when you see how good he is and the press that he's got and the pace he's got and how direct he is, he'll cause anybody problems. Even seeing Xerxes, because I was convinced he wasn't the right man for United. But, you know, the other night, they found the right place for him. He played in that link-up play, played really well. I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, Rasmus Højlund back tonight, because his press is really good. He's got a lot of pace and a lot of energy. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I've got to be a realist, you know, where we're going to end up this season. Hopefully, I think the top 6 is definitely doable. We're only 4 points off 4th, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's going to be, as I say, good days and bad days, but I think he's definitely the right man for the job.
If he gets a game out of Anthony, he should get a statue.
Yeah.
I think you have to have 2 feet nowadays to be a footballer, don't you? He drives me insane, Anthony, I must admit. But, you know, we'll see.
You wonder if he'll have the work rate to do that job. You've seen with Ahmed that, you know, he wants him to get up and down and to put a shift in. And he likes the fact he likes adaptable players. He can play him further up. He can play him as a wing back. I mean, he's and Rashford's looking a bit sharper, looking a lot happier than he had before.
Yeah, I mean, I think he came out, Ruben, and said that he doesn't think Marcus is a number 9 through the middle, which we've always thought. He comes in from the wing very well. He likes to have space to run into. So I think he's working out what's best for United at the same time as the players are working out what he wants. All I want and all I've ever want is passion from the footballers. Run. Play. All you need to run. That's the one thing you should never be, is outrun. You know, you can be less talented, but don't be outworked and outrun. I think Ipswich, when we played them, we got a draw against them. They really run us, and you know, I think we learned from that, and also the players know. And he said this. It's not an individual sport, this. You know, we need to be a team. So if he brings you off or he brings you on, you're a part of this team. And I think Rashford's head's gone down quite a lot when he's been brought off under Ten Hag. Hopefully now, with Ruben, he understands it's for the system. If you don't work in this system, you're not right for this, then you'll be brought off.
It was a blow for Luke Shaw to be injured against, a bit like Reece James. I feel for these players that keep getting injured. They come back, they get fit, they play 2 games and then they're out again. It's so frustrating.
I'm gutted for him because he really brings a balance to United. I think Mazraoui on the right has been fantastic. Dalot, decent player. I think the problem that I've got right now with tonight and the game, if we're talking about tonight, is we've got a couple of players that miss them because of bookings. I think we missed Kobe Mainoo. I think he's out because he got booked, and I think Martinez is out.
Can Maguire might play tonight potentially.
Well, that worries me, pacing
behind.
behind.
That time of year though, clubs get suspensions.
Yeah, first game back after injury, Arsenal. Not great for Harry Maguire.
Not running back towards his own goal, with a fridge on his back. No, but you know,
Lenny Yoro, you're going to have a look at him properly, aren't you, tonight potentially? He's the reports on him are very good. So
really excited about him. Ruben was saying he's got a lot of pace. He knows where he wants to play him. But again, he's not kicked a ball since he come to United. So even if he does play a part, I don't think he'll start. I think he might come. He might start and play him for 35. Well, it's probably second half. But you got. I don't know. I mean, it's one of them. I don't know. Tonight is one of them. I'm hopeful.
Midfield will be tough tonight.
Yeah,
really tough. It's going to be really tough what he'll do in midfield, whether he plays with Ugarte and Casemiro, with Bruno. I don't know what he's going to do. But one thing I do know about this manager is if it isn't working, he will change it. He won't wait, and I love that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get managers that wait to 75th minute, 80th minute, it's like it's too late.
It's by numbers, isn't it? Sometimes you feel like they don't make, you don't make a change to the 60th or 70th minute. You know they're not going to.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a shame though, Will, that amidst all this sort of optimism on the field, you've got this issue around the ticket price increase and stuff, and we've heard the Man United Supporters Trust. They've got a point, really. It looks like
poor publicity. It's ludicrous.
Looks like the club are making the fans pay for a lot of the shortcomings upstairs and the payoffs they've had to make, and etc. and the Glazers. It's not a good. The optics are not good, are they?
No, it's a business. That's how it looks to me, and it's Ineos taking over. It's a business, and he's a businessman, and getting rid of Alex Ferguson, that was a financial decision as well. I mean, I don't think it was to do with football. That's just how it is. I don't know. I mean, can it get any worse than what the Glazers have done? I don't know. I mean, it's one of them things. I just enjoy supporting my club, and that's it. You know, what else can you do? Things happen.
I want to ask you about what you've been up to. You made a TV series for Dave with Ralph Little, who of course you were on 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisp all those years ago. And also tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, it's called Will and Ralph Should Know Better. It's on Dave, and if you don't see the repeats, you can download the app and you can watch it for free, stream it on there. It was me and Ralph going around the country, putting ourselves in positions we wouldn't normally be in, testing ourselves, seeing what we could learn, seeing where we are mentally at our age.
What did you try that you got a taste for? Is there anything you thought, you know what, I might do that again?
There's a few things that I thought I'll never do that again. I went on stage with the Dream Boys and stripped naked. And,
wow!
Yeah, and the problem is I invited the wife.
Oh,
I didn't realise they got naked. I thought it was a bit like, you know, where they just strip off and dance a bit.
Yeah.
But then my wife realised I've been lying to her for all these years. You see her in the crowd, and you see her in the programme, like cheering and smiling and screaming, and I'm convinced it wasn't me on stage at that moment. It was Shergar's brother. It was ridiculous. I made my eyes water.
And Ralph has just finished Death in Paradise. He's out of that now, and everybody who's played the main part in Death in Paradise has come on this show and said, oh, it's not as much fun as it looks wandering around a hot island in sort of 100 degrees in a shirt and tie and a corduroy jacket all day. But the best way to do Death in Paradise, and we've had many actors who've been on, is what you did, going as just a guest, just fly in, fly out.
Best job ever. I was playing the murderer, right? So I went in, and I was on the plane, and I reckon I knew some of the people on the plane with us, and we landed, and I was there for probably 2 weeks or just over 2 weeks, and I probably worked for about 5 to 6 days. And so most of it I was in the bar or on the beach, and it was also the same time as the World Cup was on, so it was fabulous.
Wow.
I was paid to be in the Caribbean to watch England and have a few beers on the beach and do a bit of acting.
Wow.
You know,
and was Ralph in it at the time?
No, it was Chris Marshall.
Oh, okay.
And I know Chris really well, and we got on great, and I needed a holiday when I got back to recover from the work. Hey, try telling that to your wife when you get home.
Yeah,
I made it out. It was a right slog. It was fabulous.
Enjoy the game tonight as much as you can.
Yeah,
and,
hopefully.
Good to see you in the flesh, because we normally see you down the line. But it's lovely to see you in the studio. So all the best, Will. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Nice one, boys.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.